for today's video, we are going to read a book named The Mystery of the Missing Lunch. So this story is about a boy who were in school but he couldn't find his lunch. And then at the end, he found who ate his what's that again? Lunch, yeah, lunch. So that's what happened, and I'm so excited, guys, because this story is literally the best of the best. Because for me, I think I like this story, but maybe for some people they might not. So let's just get right into it. Woo! The Mystery of the Missing Lunch. At noon, on the first day of school, a very hungry Ramon Garcia looked for his lunch bag in the coat closet. He searched the shelf above the coat hooks but couldn't find his lunch. "My bag isn't here," he complained. "Are you sure you bought it?" asked his friend Emily Wilson. "Maybe you left it home." Ramon was sure. His mom had made him his favorite sandwich, salami, and he knew he hadn't forgotten it. "Here's my lunchbox," reported Ted Collins between a sneeze. Ted had been sneezing all morning. "Allergies," he explained apologetically. Ramon didn't hear him. He was too angry. "Someone took my salami sandwich," he said to Emily, "and I'm going to find out who." "Maybe it was Jack Crawford," Emily whispered. "He's always hungry." Ramon took out a little notebook he had bought to write down homework assignments. It would be good for keeping track of any clues. Then he went over to Jack. He noticed at once that there were no lunch bag or box on Jack's desk. "Where's your lunch?" he asked. "I don't have one," answered Jack. "Why not?" asked Ramon. Jack pulled a couple dollars out of his pocket. "I'm buying today," he said. Ramon leaned closer to Jack and sniffed deeply. He couldn't smell any salami on his classmate's breath. "What's that?" asked Emily. She pointed it to a brown smudge on Jack's shirt. "That looks like mustard." "It's just more paint stain," claimed Jack. "I got it when I helped my dad during the summer. It may look like mustard, but it's called golden oak on the paint can." "A likely alibi," Ramon muttered to himself. He made a note of the stain on Jack's shirt. "All right, what's going on here?" asked Mrs. Richmond, their fourth-grade teacher. "Someone took my lunch," said Ramon. "Don't look at me," said Jack. "I'm innocent." Mrs. Richmond clapped her hands. "Everyone in your seats," she shouted. "A lunch is missing. We can't leave for the cafeteria until we find it." "Oh," groaned all the students together. By now, everyone was hungry. Ted sneezed 3 times in succession. No one knew anything about Ramon's lunch bag. The whole class waited while Mrs. Richmond checked the coat closet, but she didn't find Ramon's lunch. By this time, Ramon was so hungry. His stomach was growling. Mrs. Richmond must have been hungry herself, because she solved the problem by handing Ramon a $5 bill. "Buy something with this," she told him. "You can pay me back tomorrow. I have a feeling that you left your lunch on the bus. I can't imagine any of your classmates taking it." Of course, it was a relief that Ramon could buy some food. However, he was 100% certain that he had put the bag in the closet. He was determined to discover who had taken it. In the cafeteria, while he was eating a soggy tuna fish sandwich he had bought, Ramon wrote again in his notebook. He made a list of all his classmates. Any one of them could be the culprit. Emily leaned forward to see. "Just because you like salami doesn't mean everyone else does," she pointed out. "Josh, Tina, and Margaret are vegetarians. They wouldn't eat a salami sandwich." "You're right," agreed Ramon, crossing out their names. Sarah thinks salami is smelly. She holds her breath whenever she's around it, and all Max ever eats is a peanut butter and jelly, he added. He crossed out their names too. After a minute of consideration, he crossed Jack's name off his list. Ted had been too busy sneezing all morning to secretly consume a salami sandwich. Roman decided. Off his name, too. Cross me off the list of suspects, too, said Emily. I don't even like salami. So far, out of a class of 18, 8 were definitely innocent. Then there were Beverly and Grace. Neither of them were tall enough to reach the shelf where Roman put his lunch. He crossed off their names, too. The list of potential suspects kept getting shorter. It even got shorter when Roman realized that he was one of the 18 students in the class, and he knew for certain that he had not eaten the salami sandwich. Roman sighed deeply. His chances of solving this case were getting slimmer and slimmer. Then, after lunch, when the students were given quiet time for reading, Roman went back to his closet to see if he could find any clothes that he hadn't noticed earlier. He looked under the book bags but couldn't find anything suspicious there. On his way back to his desk, Roman passed the library corner. He stopped. What's that scratching sound? Could there be a mouse in his classroom? Mice eats anything. Looking around, he saw poor Ted was still blowing his nose. Then he spotted something. Pieces of torn brown paper laid on the floor near Ted's desk. Roman picked them up. Immediately, he noticed that there were ink markings on the papers. He placed them together like puzzle pieces to form the picture of a smiley face. Roman recognized it at once. It was the same smiley face his mom had drawn on his lunch bag that morning. This was a very important clue. Whoever had taken his lunch had torn up the evidence. Just then, Mr. Gordon, the assistant principal, knocked and came into the classroom. Here's the new computer we ordered for you, Mrs. Richmond. He placed it on the corner. As he started to leave, Mr. Gordon said, By the way, has anyone seen a stray cat? She sneaked into a building a few weeks ago when we were painting, and I think she's hiding somewhere. The kids looked at each other and shook their heads. Please let me know if you do. I want to find her a home, Mr. Gordon said. Mrs. Richmond looked around with a little chuckle. I don't see any cat in this room, she said. At that moment, Ted gave 3 more loud sneezes. Wait a minute, Roman called out. The biggest clue had been right there under his nose the whole time. Ted, what kind of allergy do you have? Could you be allergic to cats? How did you know? Ted asked when he stopped blowing his nose. Your nose gave it away, said Roman. Ted grinned. I'm very allergic to any animal with fur, he admitted. Mrs. Richmond turned to Mr. Gordon. And I was worried she was allergic to 4th grade. Roman started pulling all the books out of the shelves in the library corner. The other students and Mr. Gordon helped. Sure enough, behind the mystery books was the solution to the mystery of the missing lunch. 3 little kittens were hiding amid the remains of Roman's salami sandwich. But where's the mother cat? Asked Mrs. Richmond. She won't be far away from her kittens, Mr. Gordon said. A loud hiss confirmed his words. On top of the closet stood the anxious mother cat. You stole my lunch, Roman scolded the cat, but he was smiling. He was pleased that he did not have to accuse any of his classmates. The mother cat jumped off the closet and slipped out the door. There she goes, said Mr. Gordon. Well, I'll take this kitten to my office until we find a good home for them. Their mama will find them. Cats have a good sense of smell. And they like salami, said Ramon. Okay guys, so I think the story was amazing, but at the same time it was kind of funny because he were like trying to accuse his friends, but he found out that the cats ate it. So guys, I have hiccups, so please understand me. So I think it was kind of funny. I don't know, for me it was kind of funny when I first read the story. How about you guys? Hiccups again. Comment down below if you guys think that it was funny or not. Hiccups again. Okay. Anyways, and also, I literally think Emily was his like sidekick, I guess. I'm not sure. I don't know. For me, I felt like he was his hiccups. She was his sidekick. How about you guys? For me, it was like that. And guys, don't forget to leave a like or subscribe or turn on the notification bells if you haven't already, because there's really no reason to do that. But for me to know that you guys are listening to the books, then it would be better if you guys were reading. I mean, what is happening, guys? If you guys are reading, then like, subscribe, turn on those notification bells. That's it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye!